Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another broadcast of the Sports Block. I'm Will Giddis, and I'll be running play-by-play tonight. I'm joined by Taylor Ergel and Melanie Jarvis, who will both be running color. How you doing today, Taylor?
I'm good.
Melanie?
I'm good, too.
That's good. Today we're at the softball field, and we have our Lady Mustangs of Middle Creek going against the Imps of Cary. Don't forget tonight's senior night. We'll be having some words from Robbie Ray and the last home game for the Lady Mustangs who are graduating this year.
We have a couple more home games coming up.
My apologies.
And there's only 3 seniors this year. Brittany, Arnold, Shelby, Culk, and Allison, Geiner. The only one that I know that has plans for softball in college right now is Allison Geiner, and she's going to be going to UNC Greensboro.
I believe Brittany Arnold is going to college, too. I'm not sure which one, but she's going to some college.
To play softball?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, this is our first senior coming on the field right now. It is Brittany Arnold. Her parents are Penny and Jerry Arnold. Her college plans are to attend Furman University to continue her softball career. She plans to become a physical therapist. Her favorite Middle Creek High School softball memory is sophomore year. They beat Fuquay on Apex's field at extra innings. She says what she will miss most is the bus rides, hanging with her teammates, being with them every day, and everyone within the softball program. She would like to thank her parents for pushing her when she needed to be pushed and always encouraging her to be the best player she could be, as well as Coach Ray, Coach Grant, Coach George for helping her on and off the field. She can't thank the 3 of them enough for everything they have done for her and the team. Most of all, she wants to thank God.
Yeah, so Melanie, what exactly is senior night? What is the importance of it?
We just represent all the seniors that have been with us for the past 4 years or any oncoming players. And this year we have 3, Brittany Arnold, Shelby Culk, and Allison Geiner. So,
Have they been on varsity since freshman year?
I believe Allison has been all 4 years. I'm not sure about Brittany and Shelby. Shelby, I believe, too. I'm not positive about Brittany.
Right. And here comes our next senior, Shelby Culk. Her parents are Kimball and Sally Culk. Her college plans are to attend East Carolina University, where she will be a cheerleader and major in exercise and sports science. Shelby plans to work in and on a strengthening and conditioning gym. Her favorite softball memory was senior year beating Fuquay at Fuquay 5-2. She will miss most the coach's sense of humor and how they make everything so fun. They made her want to be out there playing for them. She would like to have a special thanks to Coach Ray, Coach George, and Coach Grant for being such great coaches and friends the past 4 years. Her parents for pushing her to be the best she could be. And lastly, her teammates for having her back on and off the field. Also, she would like to thank them for all liking each other.
So, how do they decide one night is senior night?
I'm not positive. I figured it had been later this year, but they just happened to have it earlier.
And what are the major differences between baseball and softball that maybe some people don't know?
The field is a shorter distance. The bases are 40 feet, I believe, and the pitching is an underhand throw instead of an overhand throw.
Our last senior, Allison Geiner, is about to come on the field.
Now, Allison just got recruited to UNCG this past fall, and it was pretty great because we got to all be at her recruiting, even the upcoming freshmen. So everyone was like a part of a team before.
Yeah. So Allison Geiner is our last senior. Her parents are Robert and Dana Geiner. Allison will be attending UNCG on a softball scholarship, and she plans to major in biology. She plans to become a zoologist. Her favorite Middle Creek High School memory is senior year getting a bunt down at Fuquay and getting on base, which started off the hitting streak to take the lead against them and eventually winning the game. She will miss most is Well, she said, what will she not miss? The past 4 years have been amazing with the best coaches and teammates. She would not change anything. She would like to make a thanks to the coaches because they have helped her become who she is and can't thank them enough. They have helped her through her highs and lows. She said also her teammates. She has loved their team bonding times and all the times that she spent with them throughout the years. They have helped the team become a family. And finally, to her family, without them, she would not be here right now. She loves all of them with all of her heart. So that's all our seniors for tonight.
So how many juniors and how many sophomores do we have on the team, and maybe even some freshmen?
Sophomores, I believe we have 4. Juniors, 3, and I'm not positive, maybe 4 or 5 freshmen. So we have a lot of upcoming freshmen on the varsity team.
Yeah, and they're out there playing most of the time, aren't they?
Yeah, they're about half of the field, I believe.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good, setting it up for the next couple of years to keep the softball program strong instead of having all the seniors graduate on 1 year and having the sophomores and the freshmen and the junior all have to step up and not working into it.
Yeah, I mean, our sophomores and juniors do have a lot of potential to help build the team, but our freshmen are definitely there.
That's always good.
I think Coach Ray is going to say a little something about the seniors. Maybe after this? No? Okay, we should be done soon then. Remember, you can watch all the Sports Walk games at sportswalk.net. And don't forget to check out the new website.
All right, we're going to go into the break. Yeah, the game has not started yet, but we'll be right back. You're watching the Sports Block.
He played.
And today we have Middle Creek's lineup. We have Allison Geiner playing center and right field. She's batting first. Batting second is Lauren Pinella. She's playing third and second. Batting third is Rachel Klass, who is pitching and playing second. Batting fourth is Jenna Powell, who's playing catcher in second. I'm sorry, this isn't the batting lineup. This is in numerical order based on their jersey numbers. So this isn't the batting lineup. We have Shelby Culk, who's pitching and playing first. Brittany Arnold, who's playing second and third. Sarah White, who's playing catcher and third. We have Camille Hobson, who's playing left field and first base. We have Emily Franks, who's playing shortstop and third. Megan Walker, who's playing right field and center. Jackie Chavone, who's playing second and first. Kylie Majette, who's playing pitcher and first. Erica Adams, who's playing catcher and third. And Allie Burkhart, who's playing third and shortstop. Our coaches for the varsity team are Robbie Ray, George Robb, and Grant Coleman. And I don't know them personally, but do you guys, Melanie? I know you have experience with them. Or do you think they're good coaches, good influence on the team?
Yeah, I think they are. They make practices fun, but they work with us and make sure we reach the skills that we need. And they've been with the team for a while now, even if their daughters have left.
Yeah, and what would they do to make practices fun but still productive?
I mean, they give us that time to just relax.
Yeah. Got our first batter up for Cary. Top of the first batter, no pitches, so ready to start the ball game. Ball is grounded to second base, fielded, thrown to first for easy out. First pitch, first swing. Usually you'll have the coaches ask for you to take a strike or take a ball at the first pitch just for you to get a feel for the pitcher, but other times you just want to get a good jump on the ball, just catch anybody sleeping. Next batter is getting her sign.
Number 2.
It's like a strike on the outside corner.
And another comparison to baseball. So the mound is a lot closer, and they do underarm pitch, right?
Yeah.
And it's another strike on the outside corner. Typically for calling balls and strikes, there's a batting zone from the batter's chest to around her knees where it would be considered a strike, and the edges of the plate are where it can go for it to still be a strike. And that's a ball on the far outside trying to get her to chase.
That's a really good thing to mention, because I know a lot of people don't know that, and they never really take into consideration the height of the batter.
Yeah, it's not one solid. It's not one box that somebody has to go by. It's based on the batter's height, and that's strike 3 on the batter. Gonna give the pitcher a good high five, good strikeout.
That's what I love about softball, is every single time they do something great, every single infielder comes in, congratulates them.
Yeah, if you watch softball on any level, the dugouts, they're always cheering, keeping each other up. They have some good chants going. Keeps the mood up and positive. And that's ball 1. We have 2 outs in the top of the first.
Who's up next?
Number 17, it looks like.
We don't have the Cary lineup in here just yet, so once we get that, we'll start announcing Cary batters' names. That looks like it was ball low.
And every ump has a different zone. You have your general zone, but some umps call more strikes over or higher.
Yeah, umpires have. It's not that they prefer one team over the other or anything. It's just it's based off the umpire's perception, and that looks like a strike on the outside corner. Count is 2-1.
With 2 outs, I believe, right?
Yes. That's a foul ball hit behind the hit to the right of the first baseline. Could have been caught, but the sun's very difficult. kind of hard to see. You can see the shadows are going out towards left field, and the sun is very difficult to see into when there's a ball in the sky you're trying to catch.
And I bet that mask does not help at all.
If anything, it gets out of the way. If there's a fly ball, you're taught to usually take the mask off.
Now, Erica's new to the team this year, even being a sophomore, but she made the varsity team and she's starting, so she's really good.
And that's a line drive out to left field, caught, 3 outs. We're going to go into commercial break. It is in the middle of the first. The score is Cary 0, Middle Creek 0, and you're watching the Sports Block. And welcome back to the Sports Block. Middle Creek is just about to start batting. Have our first batter and number 1, who is Allison Geiner. She's playing center at the outfield.
She's one of our seniors tonight.
Yep. First pitch is a ball on the outside corner. Now, sorry?
Oh, I was going to say, Allison being a lefty, she can do multiple things. She can slap at this point where she runs through the ball bunting, and she's able to get to first base quicker since she's already on that side. Or she can just bunt or do a simple hit.
That's a ball on the outside corner. Yeah, if you notice, the third baseman and the first baseman are playing in just in case of that little slap bunt. That's a strike on the outside corner. Just nipped it. Good example of umpires' range of calls, whether it's could be a little off the plate and he might give some leniency, or he could be very strict about it. That's a ball high and outside. The count is 3-1.
Yep, every game just depends on what the umpire wants to see that night.
Yeah, and it's not just one. There's not just one home umpire. People like the umpires rotate. So you could be a field umpire, or you could be a behind the plate umpire. You can do anything. And that was a swung on strike. So it's 3-2, full count.
And our other umpire right now is behind first plate. But if we get anyone else moving, he'll move.
That's a ground ball up the middle, juggled a little bit by the center fielder, but staying at first. You see, it's important to take a big round around first base, just in case something like that happens where maybe the outfielder juggles the ball or makes an overthrow, just so you can get to second base a little quicker.
And next up to bat for Middle Creek is number 17, Megan Walker.
Megan is one of our incoming freshmen, and she plays right field too, so she's a starter, which is pretty impressive.
And Allison is very easily into second. She stole the base. That's another difference between softball and baseball, is you cannot steal until the ball has crossed the plate in softball.
It's when the pitcher releases it.
My fault. Runner on second. It's a called strike on the outside corner, making it 1-1. Now, in a situation like this where there are no outs and a runner on second, it's usually a good idea to get one of those slap bunts down just to advance the runner to third base, making it a lot easier to score. That's a swung on strike, 1 and 2.
And Allison's a very good base runner, very, very fast girl.
Yeah, she moves quick out there. Ball on the outside corner, maybe trying to get her to chase a little bit.
Now at this point, Allison wouldn't have to run since it's not a force, since no one is behind her.
Yeah, that means if there's a ground ball, they can't throw it to third base and call her out. Or, for example, it's her choice to run if she wants to. And that's a ball, making it full count. And that is lined out to the third baseman. She was playing in, so that might have dropped if she was playing back. But it's first out of the inning. Now to bat is number 10, Brittany Arnold, one of our seniors tonight. She's playing second base. It's a ball in the dirt. She's going to take third base. And ball 1.
So now Allison's on third.
So Melanie, what is the mechanics behind the softball pitchers winding up? Why wouldn't they just go straight into underhanding the ball?
It just gives it more force if you able to push all the way through, and then you're able to do different kinds of pitches.
It's a ball on the inside, so basically it gives you momentum going forward just to get some more behind the ball.
Yeah, just like if you're going to make a normal throw, you have to pull back to release.
It's a foul ball down the third baseline, maybe a little bit out in front of it. So what kind of pitches can softball pitchers throw? Because in baseball there's knuckleballs, curveballs. Are softball pitchers able to do that?
The ones I'm sure of are we have fastballs and change-ups, and I'm pretty sure there's a few more, but those are the two main ones they do.
Yeah. Ground ball to shortstop. She backhands it, and she is safe at first. Good hustle it out. The runner scores, so now that's 1-0 Middle Creek with 1 out and a runner on first base.
And next up to bat for Middle Creek is number 14, Camille Hobson, who's a junior. She also plays first.
Well, during this inning, she's playing left field right now.
First pitch is a strike on the inside corner. On pitches on the inside corner, you want to get your hands out in front, so you're not, when you hit the ball, you're not jammed in with your hands on the inside. And when you're like that, you can't generate power, and that makes it difficult. So they might try and work around the inside here. Next pitch is a ball on the inside corner again. Ball is hit in between the first and second baseman, falls for a single, so women on first and second with 1 out, and now to bat, looks like, who is that?
Lauren Pinella, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, Lauren Pinella, she's one of our sophomores.
Lauren's playing third, I believe.
Yes.
Say ball high, maybe trying to get a pitch out for anybody trying to take some aggressive leads or a steal. Now, I know baseball, they had to change the type of bats you could use to hit the ball. Has softball been affected by that? Any rule changes?
Well, we have to have the umps check the bats before every game to make sure they're able to be used. But most girls use composite bats.
Yeah, those are a mix between aluminum and plastic materials.
Yes.
It's first strike, so it's now 2-1. When it's 2-1, they usually call that a hitter's count because you're not forced to swing at anything, and it makes the pitcher throw your strike because she doesn't want to get you down in 3-1. And ball swung on a miss by Lauren. It's 2-2. Say ball high, maybe trying to get Lauren to chase or catch one of the base runners sleeping. It makes it easier to throw down to the bases if your catcher is standing up in an athletic position. Say foul ball down the third baseline.
Now, if there's a possibility of any fly balls being hit in the field, the runners will take a short lead if they have to tag back up to continue on.
Yeah, and I believe if there's a runner on first and second, the infield fly rule would apply here. And the infield fly rule is when there's a high pop-up hit in the infield, and the umpires, the batter's automatically out because it prevents the fielders from letting the ball drop and then turning an easy double play. And that's another foul ball down the third baseline. And another foul ball down the third baseline. There's no limit on how many foul balls you can hit. You can go the entire game hitting foul balls and nobody can say anything. So.
And I think softball and baseball both is considered a foul if it goes out before the third or first base.
Yeah, it has to be to another foul ball. Has to be to the outside of the baselines going down first and second. And if it's still foul once it crosses first or third, then it's automatically a foul ball. Now there are like situations where the ball can be hit down the baseline foul and then come over into play before it passes first or third.
Right, like when it hits off the wall and bounces back in.
Well, if it hits off the wall, it's an automatic dead ball.
Oh, okay.
So like it could hit like a rock or a pebble or something, and it'll come back into play. And looks like Lauren hit a a ground ball to shortstop, who fielded it and threw it to third. But it looked like the third baseman did not have her foot on the bag, making everybody safe. So now base is loaded with one out.
And looks like, oh, I'm sorry.
And Emily Frank's up to bat. She's a junior. Say ball in the dirt. It's important when you have bases loaded not to let a wild pitch get behind the catcher, because not only does that let a run score, but you now have runners on second and third with no force out, making it a little bit more difficult to get those outs you need. Say strike on the outside corner, making it 1-1. Say foul ball back out of play, so it's now 1-2. You might, in situations like these, you want to defend, meaning like you hit anything that's relatively close to the plate, just so the umpire doesn't strike you out, because you at least want to get the ball into play in this situation, just so you don't strike out. And she grounds the ball. Got her out at home to the force out. Tried to pull a double play by throwing it to first, but got there in time. She was safe. So now bases are still loaded with 2 outs. And that was Erica Adams, who just flied out, making it 3 outs. Shortstop made a nice running catch for that. We're going to go into a break. It is going to the top of the second with the score Middle Creek 1 and Cary 0. You're watching the Sports Block. And we're back with the sports block. It's the top of the second. Cary is batting. We got Shelby Culk, our senior, on the mound. It's a ground ball to the shortstop. Fields it. Throws it to first, and she is out.
That was a close one right there.
Very close. And the rule is if the first baseman catches the ball and is on the bag before the runner is touching first base or any base, she's out. But if the ball and the runner both arrive at the base at the same time, the tag goes to the runner and she is safe.
And next up to bat for Cary is number 7, Morgan Yaroshevsky.
Yurshevsky. That is a strike on the outside corner, so it's now 1-1. Now, most batters in both baseball and softball will wear batting gloves. These help, if your hands get sweaty, or mostly gives you better grip on the bat. And it's a ball high outside. It's a 2-1. That is a ball in the dirt, so it's now 3-1. So pitcher strike here, or gonna have a runner on first base. As you can see, the sun is affecting not only the fielders but also the pitcher. Shortstop's keeping a hand above her face to keep the sun out of her eyes. And that is a fair ball down the left field line. It literally landed on the foul line, and that makes it a fair ball. So the left fielder did a good job on getting over there, getting to the ball and getting it in before the runner could advance to second. We're going to have a pinch runner or special runner, which they do for both the pitchers or the catchers. Number 3, or looks like number 3. Melanie, why do softball players wear cages around their batting helmets?
I think most of the time it's just to protect our face. I don't know the particular reason, but I know baseball runners just have it on the side of their ear, whichever side they hit on. So.
Is this just because it's a lot closer?
I think so, and if you happen to bunt it and it pops up and hits their face, then it's protected.
Next up to bat, we have Yesenia Salas, number 22. That is a bunt to the shortstop, and she's safe, so now runners on first and second with no outs.
Next up to bat is number 11, Kim Bruni. Both sides are, cheering for their teams, keeping everybody pumped up.
Yeah, we have a great turnout for this game. Our stands are pretty full. Cary's got some support. And batter, Kim Rooney, is hit by the ball. So now there are no outs with bases loaded, and that's threatening.
Next up to bat, number 6, Sydney McGowan.
This is a situation where you're going to want to swing away and hope for a double or a triple or even a base hit just to get somebody in. You're not going to bunt slap in this situation just because there's a force out everywhere, and that result in an easy out. That's a strike on the outside. Swung on a miss. That ball is hit to the shortstop, who catches it for the first out. Bases are still loaded, And now up is number 8, Miranda Sullivan. My apologies, are 2 outs. Bases loaded, so if the ball is hit, fly ball, ground ball, anywhere in play, the runners are going to be going. That is a strike on the outside corner.
And Coach Ray always taught us, if it's a full count and 2 outs, you run on anything, because you want to at least try to advance to the next base.
Yeah, and if it's a ball hit to the gap, you have a big head start, so you don't have to watch it, make sure it falls. It's a swung on strike on the outside corner. It's a ball on the outside corner, just maybe trying to get her to chase a little bit. So we get it out here. If we get it out here, we will be out of the inning and no harm will be done. It's another ball on the outside corner, maybe still trying to get her to chase. And that is a called strike 3. So the Mustangs get out of the inning with no runs scored, and we're going to go into a commercial break. It's the middle of the second inning. The score is Middle Creek 1 and Cary 0. You're watching the Sports Block. And we're back to the softball game. You're watching the Sports Block. The Mustangs are up to bat, bottom of the second inning. Score is 1-0 Middle Creek. Looking to maybe add some points onto the scoreboard.
Our pitcher and senior for tonight, number 7, Shelby Culk's up to bat.
She hits a foul ball on the left field line. That was a close one. So it's 0-1 for the senior. And there's a ball on the inside corner. That looked like a close one, but again, it's umpire's judgment.
And again, this is a really special night for Shelby, Brittany, and Allison. All the bleachers are decorated and everything. Got posters up for them.
Got some balloons with their numbers on them.
And we got some Mustangs in the field.
Yeah, all the moms have been very supportive of the team. I know that they all contribute, they all pitch in, whether it be getting everybody's jersey clean or bringing in food. And that ball's ripped down the left field line, foul.
And the softball team this past fall just recently got new jerseys for raising money for pancakes at Applebee's.
So they sold pancakes at Applebee's.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
I know that makes the players feel like a lot better, when they're out there. If they look good, they probably play really good.
Yeah, and I'm sure Applebee's was a team bonding moment. And that's a single out to left field. Looks like the left fielder had a glove on it, but couldn't hold on to it. So Runner on first, no outs, and Jenna Powell's up to bat. I'm sorry, Lexi Garrett's up to bat.
Numbers on these jerseys are kind of hard to read.
Yeah, they're in some block lettering, so that 6 kind of looks like a 5. Umpire's getting some lineup changes straight with the Cary coach, it looks like.
Coach Ray is always encouraging the girls. I feel like he's a very encouraging person.
That is an attempted bunt and goes by. She pulled back, so that's a ball. And the ball rolls back to the backstop, allowing the runner on first to advance to second. So no outs. The count is 1-0, and there's a runner on second. That was a ball. Looked like it was maybe a little high, right down the middle of the plate. But again, it probably was a little bit above her strike zone. There's a ball up and high, maybe trying to keep the runner on her feet, trying to stop her from maybe trying to steal third. That is ball 4. Looked like it was maybe inside a little bit. So now first and second, no outs. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
We're just going to say we're back up to the top of the lineup with Allison Geiner, one of our seniors.
And that walk wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It makes it a force out, which makes it a little easier to get some of the runners out. And she places a bunt. The catcher fields it and throws it to, the third baseman fielded it and threw it to first. So now there are runners on second and third with 1 out.
And as a pitcher and like infielder, you have to remember just what the batter did, the previous up to bat, just so you know what to expect.
Yeah, definitely. Let's say a ball on the outside corner. When you hear me say ball or strike on the inside-outside corner, it's exactly what it sounds like. If the ball is away from the batter, it's an outside ball or strike, and if the ball is on the inside part of the corner, it's inside strike or ball. That is a ball. Looked like it was maybe a little high. Count is now 3-0.
This is number 17, Megan Walker.
And another walk here really wouldn't be bad for Cary. Get the bases loaded. Sounds scary and intimidating, but could be worked to an advantage. Maybe work a double play. That is a strike on the outside corner.
And that's why you see a lot in these games that they'll intentionally walk somebody, so they'll have a chance to get somebody out.
Yeah, and sometimes there's even intentional unintentional walks where they will specifically pitch around a person just so they don't get a strike that they can maybe hit into the gaps or get a runner in on. And so they ended up walking her, so now bases loaded.
And next up to bat is another one of our seniors, number 10, Brittany Arnold.
So coach is going to maybe talk to her about the situation, maybe where she wants to hit it.
I know throughout the years, Coach becomes really close with all the seniors. He's had them for a long time now.
Yeah, even if you're in the JV program, even if you didn't start on varsity your freshman year, he's still very encouraging for not only the varsity players but the junior varsity players. He's, just the junior varsity game earlier, he was on the fence cheering people on. It's a strike on the inside corner.
Yeah, he's a very involved coach. Definitely loves all of his players, even if they are JV.
Yeah, and even in school, they'll walk by him and he'll say hi. He's a very friendly character. That ball was grounded to the third baseman, who threw it home for the force out. and maybe there's some confusion, but the runner on third did not immediately run home. So bases loaded, 1 out, I believe. 2 outs, I'm sorry.
Now up to bat is number 14, Camille Hobson.
Is a ball low. The shadows are starting to creep onto the field, and that can be very difficult for the batter because the ball is very bright and then it becomes dark with the shadows, and that can, throw you off and change where the ball's going. And that ball hit Camille, so run will come in. The bases are still loaded. Middle Creek's now winning 2-0. Now batting is Lauren Pinello. Ball's a strike. Looked like Lauren maybe didn't like that one much, but 0-1.
Sun is going down a little bit, though. I know the shadows are difficult, but I'm sure they'll be glad when it's completely gone.
And that is a pass ball. The runner on third is going to score. So now there's runners on second and third with 2 outs, making it Middle Creek 3 and Cary 0.
And I have a lacrosse update. So Athens Drive Boys lacrosse is up 4-1 in the early second quarter on Middle Creek.
Actually, when it gets to be where there's dark, when it's dark and it's not like pitch black, it can be very difficult because it's kind of that in between where it's not bright to where you can see the ball, but it's not dark where the lights can kick in. And it's very easy to lose the ball in that kind of dusk like atmosphere.
Yeah, I've noticed in a couple baseball games that I've went to, the stadiums did not have lights, and those games have to be very early, and the moment it starts getting dark, they have to leave, and they can't play anymore.
Yeah, an example of one of those fields would be Athens Drive, and that's a ball to Lauren. It's 3-1. Again, a walk here wouldn't really hurt anybody. That is fouled back by Lauren.
We have Coach Ray and Coach Grant Coach Ray is at third and Coach Grant's at first. So Coach Ray will give the signs to the batters.
Yeah, it's the main job of the third base coach is to give the signs to the batter, and the first base coach usually lets the batter know if they should advance to second or stay at first. And the ball is popped up in between first and second baseman. They both went for the ball, and looked like the second baseman ended up with it, so that's 3 outs. It's the top of the third, and the score is Middle Creek 3, Cary 0. You're watching the Sports Block. And we're back with the Sports Block. It is the top of the third.
Up to bat for Cary is number 1, Caitlin Checker.
That is a swung on strike to lead off the inning. you can see, Shelby's trying to keep the sun out of her eyes, get the sign from the catcher. It's a pop-up hit between the second and right fielder. Dropped, so now there's a runner on first. No outs.
Our past game we played Broughton, and varsity won 22-5, which was pretty good.
Sorry, did you say 22-5?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And our JV team won 26-4, I believe, against Broughton.
Is it that Middle Creek is just amazing, or is it that Broughton is... You know what, I'm just going to say Middle Creek's amazing.
Well, we do have a pretty good team here, and Broughton wasn't as good as they could have been, but our team is a pretty good program.
Yeah, we'll just say Middle Creek's amazing. Next batter looked like a foul ball off the bunt. She bunts the ball foul again, so now there are 2 strikes and no outs.
Couldn't make it to the game? No problem. Sportsblock.net has all of our broadcasts archived. Check out that great play only at sportsblock.net.
I believe we have a YouTube channel as well, don't we?
Yeah, the games get uploaded to YouTube the next day or later that night, I believe.
That is a check swing, but she went all the way through, so that is a called third strike. And so 1 out, runner on first. And the rule with check swings is that if your hands have broken a certain plane, then you are considered swinging, and it will be called a strike.
Don't you usually, the umpire usually ask the other umpire, because he might have a better view if he was down first baseline? Yeah,
usually if the umpire's on the first baseline, he has maybe a little bit better view of where the hands are going, usually if the batter's a right-hander. So it's a judgment call. That was a ball 1. That's a ball in the dirt. 2-0.
And now, who's been up to bat is number 17, Priscilla Sanchez.
And she bunts the ball, bobbled by the third baseman, thrown to first, she's called out. Runner advances to second, so now there's 2 outs with a runner on second.
And Brittany had to come over and cover since first base had to pull up.
Second baseman, our senior.
And that was a great, play by our third baseman, because even though she bobbled it, she got it there with plenty of time. And up to bat for Cary now is number 14, Emily Libero.
Ball is hit to left field area. It drops between the shortstop and left fielder. So the batter is going to get a stand-up double. The runner is going to score, making it Cary have 1 run. So it's now Middle Creek 3, Cary 1.
And communication is key when it comes to that type of thing, because it looked like the ball was kind of stuck in between 2 players. You really got to call. Yeah,
and you'll hear players call it, though, mine, or I got it, and anything to let the other person know that you're going to catch the ball.
Now up to bat for Cary is number 7, Morgan Ureshevsky.
Ureshevsky, I believe.
Sorry.
That's a foul ball, so 0-1. That ball is hit foul to the third baseman, Lauren Pinella. It is caught, and it's going to end the top of the 3rd inning. We're going to take a quick commercial break. The score is Middle Creek 3, Cary 1. You're watching the Sports Block. And we're back with Sports Block. It's the bottom of the third inning when Middle Creek is winning 3-1. They are now up to bat, leading off the inning.
This is number 15, Emily Franks.
First pitch is fouled back, and sometimes coaches will say that if you hit the ball, straight backwards, you're right on it. Meaning that you're a little off, but you're seeing the pitch well, and that usually results in a good hit.
Just another comparison between baseball and softball. The pitchers usually throw around 45 to 55 miles per hour. As baseball is much faster, usually like 80, 90s.
Yeah, pitchers, even at the high school level, can reach up to the 90 mile per hour zone. That ball's fouled back. For example, there was a pitcher on Holly Springs last year who's now pitching at NC State as a starter. He threw a good upwards of 95 miles an hour, and that's simply ridiculous, especially at this level.
He was about to be drafted, right?
I think the Yankees, I'm not sure. I know a Middle Creek team was looking into him, but I think he decided to go to college, just as a backdrop.
Wow.
And that ball's hit to deep left field. Looked like the left fielder was under it, but maybe the sun got in her eyes, and that's very likely. But she drops it, so there's a runner on second with no outs.
And now up to bat for Middle Creek is number 44, Erica Adams.
That is a strike down the middle of the plate. 0-1. There's a ball way outside, so it's going to get past the catcher, and the runner on second is going to advance to third. So there's a runner on third with no outs.
Another difference between the baseball and softball pitching is baseball players need to retire sooner sometimes because they can throw out their arm, whereas softball, it's a more simple motion.
Yeah, actually, the softball underhand, that's a more natural motion.
Right.
So throwing overhand, it's, I guess you'd say, an unnatural motion, not meant for you to have your rotator, your cuff, and your shoulder or anything supposed to go like that, but we do it anyway because, it's fun.
Yeah, I know a lot of baseball players that have had to not play baseball anymore because of their rotator cuff.
And that's not the only injury people can get. Even myself, I have a nerve problem in my elbow, and that forced me to stop playing. So it's baseball's not the most physically contacting sport, but it definitely wears down players' limbs. And that's a foul ball, so it's full count now.
And like we were talking about the pitchers, the plate is 43 feet away from the circle. A lot shorter than baseball's, I believe.
Yeah, baseball's is 60 feet away.
And that's, another thing about them throwing underhand, pinwheels, because I'm sure can't really get too far with that, right, Melanie?
Yeah, it's harder, and since the softball is bigger than the baseball, the field will be shorter since you can't get it out as far.
And that ball is hit to the right fielder. The runner on third base is going to try tag, and she does. So she stand up and she scores. And it's now 4-1 Middle Creek.
Next up to bat for Middle Creek is number 7, Shelby Culk, one of our seniors.
Yeah, and this is one of those times where it's still kind of bright outside and the lights are starting to turn on. So once it starts getting darker, the lights are not going to be a major factor, and the field's going to be a little bit darker than it's been. It's a strike on the outside corner. And you also have to put it into perspective. If you have a baseball pitcher throwing, let's say, 95 miles an hour from 60 feet away, the reaction time is actually going to be about the same as a softball pitcher throwing maybe around 65 or 70 just because the distance is so much shorter. Ball is grounded to the shortstop, who bobbles it a little bit, and she is safe at first. So runner on first with 1 out.
And next up to bat for Middle Creek is number 5, Jenna Powell. Or, I'm sorry, number 6, Lexi Garrett.
It's those numbers.
It's the block letters.
And we had a pinch runner, or a special runner actually, over at first base. Allie Buchart is running for Shelby. And she tries to steal second base, and she's in there safely. It's 1-0. It's called a ball.
And our pinch runners or special runners, are they only able to take the place of the pitcher and the catchers?
Special runners are. That's to help save time, and so catchers don't have to put on their gear, and pitchers don't have to, warm up as slowly. And pinch runners can pinch hit or pinch run for everybody, but the person they are pinch running for cannot come into the game anymore.
Oh, okay.
Count is now 2-0. Ball's grounded to the third baseman, takes a look at the runner at second, throws to first, and she is out. Meanwhile, the runner on second has advanced to third. So now it is 2 outs with a runner on third, and we have Allison Geiner coming up. See if she tries a slap bunt, or maybe just try and get one by the infielders real quick. Ball is flown out to the left fielder, who catches it, ending the inning. So it's the end of the third inning. The score is Middle Creek 4, Cary 1. And we're going to take a quick commercial break, and you're watching the Sports Block. And we're back with the Sports Block. It is the top of the 4th inning. Middle Creek is winning 4-1. Shelby is still on the mound, one of our 3 seniors tonight.
And up to bat for Cary is number 22, Yesenia Salas. Sun has completely went down now.
Yeah, it's dark on the field. It's going to be tough to see some of the fly balls. But maybe since the softball is yellow, that might help a little bit. It's a swung on strike. It's another swung on strike, and you can hear the Cary dugout giving some motivational support.
And there's a pretty big crowd for Middle Creek tonight. They're giving some emotional support to all the players out there.
Yeah, so most of the JV teams stayed after, and all the parents, even friends, family. It's a special night for people, so they got to come out.
Both our teams are really supportive of each other. JV is always there, and varsity is always there for us.
Yeah, definitely. Count is now 1-2. And that is a strike 3, swung on and missed. That was an outside pitch, so tried to get her to chase, and she did. So, sometimes on maybe TV, or if you're looking over at the person keeping score, you will see a K for a strike to indicate a strikeout, and that K can be either a normal-looking K or a backwards K, and the batter's hit. And the backwards K just means that the batter struck out, but she did not attempt to swing at the ball, meaning the umpire called her out. And a normal K would just mean she swung and she missed, and that was just a normal strikeout.
And next up to bat for Cary is number 6, Sydney McGowan.
This is Shelby's second year on varsity, and she started both years. We have a couple other pitchers, but she's one of our main starters.
She bunts the ball. The third baseman fields it and throws her out at first. So now there are 2 outs with a runner on second base.
Have an iPhone or Android phone, download the Ustream app. Catch the game on the go. Nobody gives you action like sportsblock.net. And next up to bat for Cary is number 8, Miranda Sullivan.
And that's a strike swung on a miss. That's a ball high and outside. And midway through the game like this, pitchers will start to wear down or maybe become a little tired, and it doesn't look like it's affecting Shelby at all.
I've never seen Shelby tired. All the times I've seen her pitch, I've never seen her tired.
It's a good trait to have some good stamina on the baseball field, and that's
Softball field.
Softball field, my fault. So that's counts now 1 and 2. And that's a good example of the foul ball rule. The ball was hit into fair play, but it eventually rolled out into foul territory where it was touched and indicated foul ball. So the count remains 1 and 2, and there's still a runner on second base. And we got some activity over in the Middle Creek bullpen. Maybe going to give Shelby a break, even if she wants one or not. It's strike 3, so that's going to end the inning. It's going to be the middle 4th. The score is Middle Creek 4 and Cary 1. You're watching the Sports Block. And we're back with Sports Block. It is the bottom of the 4th, and Middle Creek is up to bat. they are winning 4-1, and maybe get some good insurance runs just in case Cary decides to come back. So we'll see how that goes. Is a called strike on the outside corner. Another called strike on the outside corner. It looked like it was maybe a little away, and as I'm being told by the person next to me, a lot away. But we're going to stick with a little away because we're not biased here at the Sports Block. That is a ball, maybe a little low and away. Just a little away.
All right, I have an update here. Athens Drive is leading Middle Creek 6-2 in lacrosse.
And that is a ground ball hit to the shortstop, who fields it and throws her out at first. And there's one out.
Looks like one of our seniors, Brittany Arnold, number 10, is up to bat.
Is a call ball, maybe a little high. Is a foul ball chopped down the left field line. Count is now 1-1.
Personally, I know Brittany has been playing softball and I think baseball when she was a lot younger, because I knew her in elementary school, and I think she was on an all-boys team maybe. So she has a lot of experience.
Yeah, I mean, that's a ground ball hit in between short and third for a base hit. At the younger ages, there's not a big difference in, you have an 8-year-old girl and an 8-year-old boy. There's not much of a big difference. So you stick them in the same league, and, girls do just as good as the guys do. So.
And a lot of our team is on different travel teams for softball, such as the Challengers or the Crush or Sting. So they get it all year round.
Yeah, we're down here in North Carolina. We might get a little cold, but we play baseball, softball all year round.
Yep. And that's probably, it could either be a good thing or a bad thing. They might get tired of playing it all year and it might burn them out, or it could be a great thing and just keep them in check, all year.
It's a fly ball hit in between right, center, and second base. It's going to drop in the gap, and that's going to be a stand-up double. And so runners now on second and third. Middle Creek's threatening. Now to bat is number 2, Lauren Pinello.
So, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I insist. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that a walk wouldn't hurt right here, right?
Yeah, it's a good time to have it.
Great time.
So, yeah, called strike on the inside corner. But here's a little fun fact. The home team will always be batting in the bottom of the inning, meaning that the away team gets to bat first all the time. And typically, getting to bat last is a good thing, because you get, last licks, or, if you're down by 1, you get a chance to come back. So, count as 1-1.
And if, the home team is up in the last inning, you get to go home early after the away team's batted.
As a pass ball past the catcher, it rolls towards the away team's dugout. So, Brittany Arnold's going to come in to score. Middle Creek's now winning 5-1. And we have a runner on third base. Count is now 2-1. So yeah, another ball high and outside, 3-1. Get to be a little selective with the pitch you want to hit right here. Don't want to go chasing for anything. Give the other team a free strike. checks the runner at third, throws it to first, overthrows the first baseman, and the batter is going to make it all the way to third base.
With one shoe.
With one shoe.
Oh, man.
I don't know if maybe that was she's running so fast she ran out of her shoes, or if her shoelaces need to be tighter, or maybe, I don't know. But her shoe came off between first and second.
But it didn't stop her.
And that did not stop her. Mom might be a little upset that there's going to be a lot of sand on the sock, but that's what moms are there for, right? There's looks like third base coach is going to talk to the umpire about something.
And I have a baseball update. Our varsity baseball boys are at Cary, and it's the end of the second. It's scoreless.
And we're having a little pinch hitter, it looks like. We're having Allie Berthart bat. She's a freshman, number 55.
Couldn't make it to the game? No problem. Sportsblock.net has all of our broadcasts archived. And don't forget to check out our new website, sportsblock.net, new and improved. It's easier to find the Mustang sports action when and where you want it. Sportsblock.net, now you can play anywhere.
And the first pitch is high and gets past the catcher. Lauren slides in, and that's another run for Middle Creek. So the score is now 7-1 in the bottom of the fourth.
And what is the run rule as far as ending the game early?
Sometimes it varies the rule, but typically if it is the fifth inning and one of the teams is up by 10 runs, then the game is called, and it's called the mercy rule, just because it's very unlikely that the other team is going to come back and, score another 10 runs to win the game. It's to save time, and it doesn't happen extremely often, but it does happen.
And our JV team just had the mercy rule pulled on us. We won 11-1 against Cary's JV. So it was another one in the books for us.
Go Mustangs. Count is now 3-0, so maybe take a pitch and go for the walk. That is a called strike on the outside corner. Didn't look like she was exactly looking to hit the ball, but it's part of taking a pitch.
Looked a little far to me. I don't know if that was just me.
I got the catcher blocking my view of the plate, but very possible. He grounds the ball to shortstop. He throws it to first base, and she is safe. And the shortstop fielded it cleanly, got out of the glove fast, but she ran really fast, and she was safe.
That was very close.
Now up to bat is number 44, Erica Adams. She is a sophomore. There is one out in the bottom of the fourth.
I believe Erica's our catcher for tonight.
She squares the bunt, pulls it back. It is a called strike, and the runner on first steals second. Ball's hit to the left fielder. She catches it, holds the runner at second. There are now 2 outs.
Next up to bat is number 7, Shelby Culk.
That is a fly ball to middle infield. The shortstop catches it, and that ends the inning. So that's the end of the fourth inning. Middle Creek is winning 7-1. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching the Sports Blog. And we're back with the sports block. It is the top of the fifth, and Cary is batting. The score is 7-1 Middle Creek, and Cary's maybe looking to get a little rally going, put themselves back in the game.
And up to bat now is number 1, Caitlin Checker. Check in.
And that is a foul ball chopped down the third baseline. And Shelby is still pitching on the mound, so it looks like doesn't look like they're taking her out anytime soon. Maybe going for the full game for senior night.
I'm sure all the seniors will try to be in full game.
There's a foul ball out of play.
Remember, you can watch all the Sports Block games at sportsblock.net.
That is a called ball 1, so the count is now 1-2.
It's getting a little bit darker out there, but it looks like the lights are doing a good job of keeping the field lit.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely passed through that phase where the lights aren't a big factor, and it's starting to get darker, so the lights are more effective towards the field. And you would think that maybe the lights would maybe get in the fielders or the outfielders' eyes, but typically that isn't the case. There are times where they will get and maybe be a distraction, but for the most part, they are not bothersome the most. That ball is hit to the shortstop, thrown out at first for the first out of the inning.
Next up to bat for Cary is number 2, Brittany Miles. Cary is cheering for their team and you're trying to get them hyped up some more, see if they can get some more runs.
It's a ball high and outside. There's another ball outside. It's a called strike on the inside corner. Count is now 2-1 with 1 out. That was a called strike on the outside corner. That one looked a little questionable, but called a strike, so it's now 2-2. That is strike 3, so that's the second out of the inning.
Next up to bat for Cary is number 17, Priscilla Sanchez.
That is a called ball. Now for the pitcher, typically it's good to get ahead with a strike. It just puts the batter and gives the batter some pressure, and pitcher can work with maybe some of their off-speed stuff, such as like a curveball or a changeup. That ball's hit in between short and third for a base hit, so runner on first with 2 outs.
Next up for Cary is number 14, Emily Libero.
You would think that with 2 outs, it's very difficult to score any runs, but that's not always the case. There have been instances where teams have come back with 10 runs and they've had 2 outs on them, so maybe Cary can get something going here.
That's looked like a pattern to me. Most things happen when there's 2 outs. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's I guess it's kind of a pressure thing, you know. You got 2 outs. Nobody wants to get the 3rd out of an inning.
People work great under pressure, I'm sure.
Most do. That is a foul ball out of play down the left field line. And looks like we're joined here by our principal, Mr. Martin.
And I believe we have some previous coaches, Miss Beard, and another previous JV coach.
And that is the 3rd out of the inning. It's great to see that there's so much support from the Middle Creek community for every sport, whether it be teachers, coaches. That's going to end the inning, so it's going to be the middle of the 5th. The score is Middle Creek 7 and Cary 1. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching the Sports Blog. And we're back with the Sports Block. It is the bottom of the 5th, and Middle Creek is winning 7-1. Looks like Cary's going to try and hold them here, stop any damage caused by the 7 runs we have. Just remember, we're not biased here at the Sports Block.
And up to bat for Middle Creek is number 28, Kylie Majette. She's a freshman.
And it looks like Cary's kept the same pitcher on the mound, Morgan Yashetsky. That is a called strike on the outside corner.
And it looks like Middle Creek has kind of rotated their coaches. It looks like first base now is Coach Rob, or George Rob.
Coach George.
Coach George. There you go.
Is that a line drive to the shortstop? She cashes it, making it the first out.
And he is the father of Heather Robb, who played here at Middle Creek and now plays at UNC Greensboro, where she'll be joined by Allison.
That is a ball on the outside corner.
And Coach George is one example of the coaches here who had a daughter graduate but continue to stay with us, such as Coach Grant, who had Brittany and Crystal graduate, and Coach Ray had a daughter, I believe, graduate from here too.
That is a bunt that she has pulled back, so it's now 2 balls and 1 out. That is a ball high.
All the infielders remember Allie, and they're all kind of coming in close.
Nice to see one hit over maybe the infielder's head. Get them back up a little bit. Set yourself up for the next bat. And it's called ball 4.
Next up to bat for Middle Creek is number 22, Jackie Schiavone.
And looks like she's pinch hitting for somebody. So coach is going to make sure everything's cool with the umpire. Umpire says everything's cool, so we're going to get everything back underway.
Yeah.
It's a ball in the dirt, gets away from the catcher. Allison takes a sharp turn at second base, but goes back. Count is 1-0. That is a strike. Looked like it maybe was a little low. But what umpire says goes. That is a called strike on the outside corner. Doesn't look like Jackie was a big fan of that one, but what the umpire says goes. Count is now 1-2. Got a runner on second base with 1 out. And Jackie hits that one off the hands, fouled on the first baseline.
Being in the 5th inning, we have the opportunity to pull the mercy rule where if we score 4 more runs, then we can win the game.
Yeah, exactly. That is a called strike 3 on the inside corner. And Allison's going to take advantage of the opportunity. Caught Cary sleeping a little bit, and she advances to third. So now there is a runner on third base with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th.
And next up to bat is number 10, Brittany Arnold.
That ball is ripped to the left center gap, and that is a home run. That is a home run by Brittany Arnold.
Senior.
On senior night. That's a great way.
And the team comes out and congratulates her on that nice hit.
You know, it's something she's going to remember for the rest of her life, you know, hitting a home run on her senior night.
I think that got everybody pumped up, so Middle Creek scores 2 more runs, and game's going to be over by mercy rule.
And I have an update on the lacrosse game, and there is about 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, and Athens Drive boys lead Middle Creek 8-4 now. And up to bat for Middle Creek is number 12, I believe, Sarah White.
Yeah, it's number 12. It's those block numbers, man.
Oh, Sarah is one of the instances where we have players that play both JV and varsity. And she played with us this afternoon, but is playing with varsity tonight.
Yeah, having players play on both teams is it's very beneficial to them because you get a lot of play time on junior varsity, but you also get to watch and learn from varsity while also getting a little play time, see what you're going to be facing potentially next year. So it's a great way for the coaches to work with people to help them get their playing time and to get some more experience. And that's a ball 2-0.
And Sarah made a great play in the JV game where we had a runner going towards third, but she dove in the air and got the runner out, going back to second.
So she's definitely showing potential to be on varsity. She's just trying to get the experience for now.
Yep.
That is a swung strike, so it's now 2-1. That is a called strike, so it's now 2-2. 2 outs. That ball is fouled back. And looks like Cary's bleachers maybe cleaned out a little bit.
I think it might be getting cold out there.
Yeah, we're in a booth up here, so we're nice and warm. Not sure how the weather is out there, and that's a swung on strike for the 3rd out. It is the going to be the top of the 6th when we come back. The score is Middle Creek 9 and Cary 1. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and you're watching the Sports Block. And we're back with the Sports Block. It is the top of the 6th inning. Middle Creek is winning at 9-1. Shelby is still on the mound, getting some motivation from her second baseman, Brittany Arnold. And batting for Cary is number 7, Morgan Yashetsky. And looks like Lauren had some difficulties finding her glove in the dugout, so she got that. She's out on the field. And that is a called strike on the outside corner. And that is a batter tried to check swing the ball, but broke that plane. So that is strike 2, 0-2. And that is a called strike 3 by the umpire. So a strikeout to lead off the inning. And now up to bat is number 22, Yesenia Salaz. And that is a ball by Shelby. That is a swung on strike. Count is 1-1. That is a swung on strike 2, and the count is 1-2 with 1 out, and nobody is on base. And if you take a look at the field, there's 3 Mustangs, one behind home plate, one behind the pitcher, and one behind second base, probably signifying our 3 seniors who are graduating. And that's called strike 3, or swung on strike 3, I'm sorry. And that is 2 outs. And looks like the coach is maybe putting in a pinch hitter.
Believe it's number 3.
Number 3. And umpires checking with Middle Creek coaches that they got the substitution. It is a automatic out if a batter is batting out of order or isn't supposed to be in the order, so it's important that everybody's on the same page. And that is an attempted bunt slap hybrid. It's missed.
And she is a lefty, so like Melanie said, she has an advantage when she tries to, bunt or slap.
Nani, still awake over there?
Yeah, I am. I am.
That is a called strike 2. Count is now 0-2.
It's going to say 10-7-1, 10-7-1.
It's our supervisor. He's making sure we were paying attention by shouting out numbers. It's a math game we play. And that is a swung on strike 3, so that's going to end the inning. When we come back, it's going to be the bottom of the 6th. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching the Sports Block. And we're back with the Sports Block. It is the bottom of the 6th inning. Middle Creek was winning 9-1. In case you viewers are curious, Mr. Petty ended up winning our math game, so he's probably going to get a trophy sometime later on. But back to the softball game.
Up to bat is number 2, Lauren Pernella.
And that is a called ball high. That is another called ball low. That is a foul ball off the hands of Lauren. Went out of play down the first baseline. The count is now 2-1.
Very close to hitting a fan. I think it hit his foot. Gotta be really careful when you're in the stands for those foul balls.
Yeah, heads up is always a good thing to say when somebody hits a foul ball. And now count is now 3-1. is a line drive up the middle for Lauren. That's a single base hit. And next up to bat is number 55, Allie Burkhart.
Was she a pinch hitter for somebody? I believe she was.
Yeah, and actually 2 games ago she hit a home run. So we'll see if maybe she hits another. And that ball's got past the catcher, so Lauren's going to steal second. And actually, if it's a passed ball, it is not ruled as a steal on a stat sheet. It is ruled as a wild pitch and a runner advance. So technically, it is an error on the pitcher. Counted as 1-0. And that is a drop ball by the catcher. Lauren got about halfway to third base, decided she might not make it, and went back. Although she probably could have, but nobody tell her that. Count is now 3-0. And that is ball 4 high. So there's now runners on first and second with no out. There's a force out at first, second, and third. Looks like we're going to have another pinch hitter here. And if I'm correct and the letters aren't messing me up, that looks like Jenna Powell, number 5.
The Stampede Club and the Sports Block would like to thank this generous support of our sponsors. Without your contribution, Mustang Athletics wouldn't be possible. Thanks.
You know who you are. That is a ground ball that nearly killed the first base coach. Count is now 0-1.
I believe they switched the first base coach again back to Coach Grant instead of Coach George.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep everybody on your feet. You know what I mean? Like, can't have one person at third the whole time, fall asleep. Got to keep them rotated. It's a ball in the dirt, so runners are going to advance to second and third. Still no outs. And at this point in the game, I don't think Cary can really risk getting the bases loaded for a force out. They're just digging themselves a very deep hole if they did that. Deeper hole. And that is a foul ball down the third baseline. Count is now 1-2.
Mr. Ray is always telling, I think, third base, what to do. He's the one who waves in second and third usually.
That is a fly ball to left field. The left fielder barely catches it. The runner from third tags up and scores, and the runner from second tags up and advances to third. So now there's 1 out with a runner on third. The score is Middle Creek 10 and Cary 1. It is the bottom of the 6th inning.
And now,
Go ahead.
number 7, Shelby Culk is up to bat.
If we score one more run in this inning, then the game will be over. And
Is it, though? Because it's the 6th inning?
yeah, after the 5th, then they continue on with the mercy rule.
All right, well, we'll see if we can end this one early.
Even though it would be awesome to have 10 points for us, 7th inning, and 1 point for them. So that's all the numbers of our seniors.
And that is lined out to the shortstop. So there's now 2 outs with a runner on second. And now to bat is number 28.
28. Kylie Majette.
It's the block numbers.
It's those
I
block
swear
numbers.
That was it. And that is a ball on the inside corner.
Kylie is another strong pitcher for us, and she'll be taking Shelby's place next year once Shelby goes away.
And she's only a freshman, so that's pretty awesome. Very impressive.
Yeah, a lot of our freshmen are stepping up.
And that is a ball off the third baseman's ankle. So the runner is going to be safe at first, and the runner at home is going to score. But third baseman looks to be injured, so everybody's going to check on her to make sure it's okay. When the game is over, we go to break and then come back for some wrap-up stats. And we're going to go to break right now. You're watching the Sports Blog. And that's going to wrap it up for Middle Creek versus Cary on Middle Creek senior night. The final score is 11-1, which is the same score as the junior varsity. In this instance, the mercy rule came into effect, so the game ended since they were up by 10 runs. We're going to have some wrap-up stats later. My name is Will Giddis.
I'm Melanie Jarvis.
And I'm Taylor Urkel.
And remember, Middle Creek, stay classy.